We finished. You have to wait till you go around it. When you get around it, then you get it.
Okay, we're going to help you do some this. Okay? All right, we got one more. Right here, get them one. Somebody else?
Keith.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you come on the side.
Yeah, I gotta move because I can't get y'all. And they're gonna run y'all over with the cart.
On the stage, there's a platform.
Microphone.
Sir, I'm also taking...
If anybody need anything open this way?
What do you want?
Okay. Go ahead to her. Yeah, I got the key.
See a karate man, so you know where it's going. I ain't never seen him. In the office or with his gun. We go to his office, the thing was piled up this high on the desk. He put his feet on top of it.
He was given that. I believe so. But yes, everything, we give out everything.
Morning, sir.
No, I got
I had to give baby the oil.
Jamie.
Yes, baby.
Should I get this?
Okay. Yeah, see you this time.
Because I'm in the front.
Got somebody over there hiding in the corner.
About the importance of food pantries and why you decided to volunteer?
There are 750 food pantries in New York, and most of them are overwhelmed like this one because there's the level of hunger now affects over a million, 1 out of every 4 adults, about 600,000 children. And, I love this food pantry because they're key. The food is very high quality. A lot of the produce that they're giving away is farm fresh. And these communities, even when people do have enough money to buy food, are food deserts. So the quality of the food is low. Processed foods are linked to the diabetes epidemic, lung disease epidemic, mental health issues. And, I feel like this is the answer. I mean, the ultimate answer is to wind down the war machine so Americans can afford to live again.
He's the one who gets the approval for a lot of the stuff from Northwell and stuff, and he made this a community church. So this is what we do every week, all year round. Hey, I love the Kennedys. This is Bobby. I love that he's here, and I love all of you here. I hope that we can work together and build a little bit more. I have a lot of work and stuff to do. I used to do downstairs and feed hot meals. Now I do takeout outside because of COVID. But every Wednesday, we feed about 250 people sandwiches, make a sandwich, juice, fruit, and we wait outside, and they come and get it. So it's just about growing and taking care of the community, because this is a community where we serve a lot of migrants here. And a lot of them don't have health care. A lot of them don't have foods. They don't have a place to cook. They don't have clothing. They don't have anything. So here I try to keep something, a coat or something. They're on the line. They come with their children, no coats. Anything to be available, but I don't accept used because at any day, all of us could be on that line, you know, from 1 minute to the next. So, you know, whatever you can do to appreciate, whatever you can do to help us is fine. You know, just spread the word and we give the love.
On the heels of the migrant crisis here in the city, are you guys overwhelmed at the food pantry?
Well, yes and no, because you got to love what you do. You can't just get overwhelmed on something that you dreamed and had a vision of. So this is my vision. So yes, it does become overwhelmed, but I'm like Ralph Cram to get behind the wall and say pins and needles and pins, and I make it work.
I think you said you've been doing this for over a decade. Have you
Yes.
noticed an increase in the past few years due to the migrant crisis?
Much. Yes, we started in the basement. I used to go in a car to different schools because the city of New York picks you up 3 months after you do it yourself. So for the first 3 months, I used to go to schools and pick up, you know, food, come down the steps, bring it here. And then I went to classes with Food Bank for 2 years, and I went everywhere they went, and I joined every program they had. So that's why I'm a distribution, and I have 5 programs. You know, but it's still not enough because I'm dealing with thousands and thousands of people in all descents. So it is what it is.
Bobby, you know, when he talks to you, he wants to know who you are personally. So now Bobby got to see. The first time I learned how to swim was right here when the pastor threw me in the water. So I mean, this, you know, this is for Bobby is not a political stop. It's a stop because he cares about people, and he wanted to see exactly how people are living. So you know, when he gets in position, he knows exactly what he has to do. And I thank Bobby for coming out. The Team Kennedy for coming out. I mean, it took a lot to get us here, but we're here. And we will be back.
What was your key takeaway as you were distributing food this afternoon?
Well, you know, I had talked to Eric, I don't know, several weeks ago about this project, and I told him that I wanted to come see it. And one of the things that was very attractive to me about this is that Eric has been also funding it for many, many years, and and he makes the effort to make sure that the food quality that comes in here, that there's high food quality. A lot of the produce, the fresh produce you saw, comes from local farmers and from sources and you know, all of these communities. There's now 750 food kitchens, food pantries and soup kitchens in New York. Most of them are forced to accept the bulk of their produce from a processed food industry. And from surplus from the processed food industry, and that food tends to be not very good for you. It fuels the chronic disease epidemic that is now debilitating these neighborhoods. Processed food is associated in the scientific literature not only with chronic disease, diabetes, and now 60% of the people in these neighborhoods are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. 30% of the kids are either diabetic or pre-diabetic, and that is happening because we're poisoning them with food, with bad food, with processed food, with chemicals. And what Eric and Keisha do is make an effort to bring in real food. And now, I've been to many, many food kitchens. I've never seen the kind of fresh produce that I saw here. Well, that is critically important, and I'm very happy that I got to participate. 57% of the people in this country can no longer put their hands on $1,000 if they have an emergency. And what Keisha said about us all being this far.
Why do you think that you're better suited than President Biden to address the concerns of the people that have to come here to this pantry for food?
The ultimate difference is that President Biden is addicted to the war machine, and that the people who are funding the Democratic Party are the big food processors. They're the pharmaceutical industry. They're the people who don't want to change in this. And the war machine is the ultimate reason why we have so many people on the street, plus the security issue at our border. So the number of illegal migrants that has begun showing up here over the last 2 years has doubled. And it's crushing, that problem alone is crushing the social service system for New York City. And I don't think that President Biden I think he's shown that he's not able to control it. I mean, the burden of a federal problem is ending up being shouldered by people like Keisha, who are in the least position to deal with the fundamental issue, the root cause of these problems. And instead, she's struggling and scrambling.
What do you think of many of the people coming here for food are migrants?
Well, I think, what Keisha's doing is the way that we ought to handle migrants once they're here, which is with compassion and with generosity and with the kindness that our country is supposed to represent. The problem is, we're a nation. We need to have secure borders. We need to be making sure the people who come in this country are people who have gone through the process, that we have wide gates and a fast class to citizenship, a fast track to citizenship. But having 7 million people come across the border illegally in 3 years is not good for them.
Is this incentivizing at all illegal immigration by how well we treat migrants?
No, people are not coming into our country to eat at food kitchens. Asia and Eric are dealing with an emergency that's been created by the federal government, by other people. They're coming here because they want jobs. And that's good. We need immigrants to fill the jobs so that we can support a middle class in this country, so that we can keep soluble our social security system. But like every other country in the world, we need to control that issue. We do not want our immigration policy dictated by the Sinaloa cartel, which is now running U.S. immigration policy. There is no nation that could survive just an open border. There's none. And yet that's what we have now in the United States.
Mr. Kennedy, less than 9 months to go now. Do you think you are still a genuine chance when you look at how many ballots you're on and how much support you're gaining? Can you still win this thing?
Yeah, I'm going to win this thing. We're going to be on the ballot in every state. And my favorability is now higher than any of the other political candidates among all the American people by many, many points. I'm beating President Biden and President Trump among young people, really decisively beating them, but people under 45 in the battleground states, and by 10 points among people under 35. I'm beating them among independent voters. And that is the largest cohort now. This will be the first election in American history where independents are the largest group. And I'm beating them in a lot of other cohorts. So I think you have now 86% of the people in this country who are saying that President Biden shouldn't run. You have 80% who are saying they do not want a matchup of the lesser of two evils. They want somebody who is going to inspire them, who's going to offer a new path. And they're not getting that from the two men who've already been president. The reason that this problem is happening is because of the last two administrations. We need to change what's happening in this country, and if you make the same voting choice, you're going to get the same thing.
When you look at the war in Gaza,
if President Trump is going to offer you to be in his ticket, would you accept?
No.
No, not at all.
one on the war in Gaza.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Kennedy, one on the war
everyone.
in Gaza, if possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.